I come from a long line of musicians. I mean, all of my cousins, my sister, we all were involved in activities at school. Started out as a drummer. That really wasn't what I really wanted to do. Once I got to high school, my high school band director, he had a slot open in jazz band, and I told my mom I wanted to play trombone, and her and my grandmother, they went out and leased me an instrument. I got home one day, saw this big box, and the rest is history. I attended the Jackson State University in Jackson, Mississippi. We like to call ourselves the summa cum laude of bands, and I'm a proud alumnus. Received my degree there, and also a member of the marching band. Coming to a game, a Jackson State game, or any HBCU game, it's like a happening. It's like when you're there for the band, you're there for that. I mean, the team, they're gonna do their thing, you know, they're gonna play, and we know that's gonna happen, but the band, they provide that entertainment factor. They provide that I don't wanna go get popcorn or nachos or soda. I wanna sit down because I'm gonna miss something. I've been teaching band for 19 years of my life. I started when I was 22 years old, and we teach so many life lessons through the performing arts, through marching band, you know, the ensembles that we do at Skyline. And even when I was in college, it's almost like molding a lump of clay into something, you know, as a freshman musician going from the summer band camp, you know, getting ready for that first performance and for the rest of the season. It prepares you for life in so many different aspects that, you know, that go so far beyond what you're actually seeing and doing. It's the intrinsic things that make it worthwhile. I always tell my kids that band kids, we're just different. You're different in a good way. You go out and you serve as ambassadors for your school. You're the one that people see when you represent. So, and the students take great pride in that when they perform. It gives them the feeling of belonging. Band members, we have band kids that even throughout the pandemic, they are allowed to participate in band and come to after-school practice, and that is sort of a motivational tool because so many of our students are not face-to-face learners, they're virtual. But when they come up to school after school, it still provides that connectivity. They still feel connected to the school by being able to participate in band. That factors in heavily on their academic success because it's like being in band or being a part of the organization sort of gives them the motivation to strive and do better in their schoolwork. I would say that celebrating blackness comes in many forms. I would say one of the biggest would be the many contributions that African Americans have made. In my element of music, I mean, so many musicians, you know, and not necessarily famous musicians, top tier. I'm saying even music directors that have paved the way for so many of us in my generation. I'm always telling my kids, when it's time to perform, you have to transform into an entertainer. And I would say that some of the biggest influential for me would be the biggest, you know, James Brown, Michael Jackson, you know, New Edition, you know, those groups that were just great entertainers and they just put it on when it was time. My college choir director, she was very, very influential in us putting it on when it was time for us to perform, and you could see it all over our faces when we sang. And I use that in my career. You know, I tell my kids, you know, it's a big show when it comes time to perform. You have to turn into what people are paying to come see because Skyline Band, we're a big deal. You know, we're sort of a big deal, and when we're called to perform, that's what people expect. I look at each and every last one of them like crowning achievements. It's like, you know, people don't know the entire story, but they see them out there doing what they love to do. And, you know, of course we know music is an art. They are actually expressing themselves. I will say that that's the part of it, to me, that's a passion that goes beyond the actual career portion of it, because to see that happen in a student it's magical almost, to see them move on to the next level and then continue to do this thing that you have helped them unwrap this gift that they have. And I think that is something that every teacher should want to see in their students, and we definitely see it in ours.